Hi, Andrew Carestis here with Audiobro. We're very excited to introduce to you our new sets of legato patches in LA Scoring Strings 2. They include non-vibrato to vibrato patches with full control of our legato portamento and glissandos, as well as our new legato tremolo patches and intelligent trills patches, again, all with full control of your legato portamento and glissandos. In this video, we'll be going over the new legato features added in LASS 2.0 at the patch level, as well as touching on the ARC's legato page and how it integrates with LASS's legato patches. I'll play some simple examples on how to control the non-vibrato to vibrato patches, as well as using the other features like the loading and purging features and explaining the new layout. Okay, so let's start. What you see here is the real legato page of the ARC. ARC is short for Audiobro Remote Control. Basically, all of LASS's main features can be controlled by the ARC on a global level or on a single patch level or anywhere in between. Right now, we're just going to focus on the real legato page of the ARC and the new legato patches, but please check our other ARC tutorial videos to get more information on how the ARC integrates with LASS. So, as I was saying, all of LASS's main features can be controlled remotely by the ARC. Here you'll notice that I have these MIDI channels enabled so that all of these controls will be communicated to the corresponding patches controls. And even batch loading and purging of samples can be done with the ARC. So for example, I'm just going to turn on this always button right here. This was explained in another video, but that basically tells you that anything I do here will instantly be applied to anything below the ARC. So I'm going to, for example, take the portamentos and unload those samples. And you'll see that they're unloaded here, they're purged. And I'll do the same thing with the glissandos right here, unload. And you'll see they are unloaded here. And if you go down to all these other patches, you'll notice it's the same thing all the way down. And then if I want to load them up again, I'll just say, okay, let's load up the speed lights for the glissandos, and I'm going to load the full-on speeds for the portamentos. And right here you see these non-vibrato to vibrato controls, which are new, as well as the arrow. These controls will only affect the non-vibrato to vibrato patches. On the other legato patches, these controls will be completely disregarded. So in essence, you could have legato tremolos and trill patches loaded, and their MIDI channels engaged, and they would receive all the instructions from the ARC except for the non-vibrato to vibrato controls, because those would be appropriately ignored. So what do these non-vibrato and vibrato controls do, and what does this arrow do? Well, if I click on the non-vibrato, what you'll notice is that it lights up, and what it's doing is it's loading all the non-vibrato samples into the patches. If I click on it again, it will purge those samples from the patches. But sometimes you want to have non-vibrato and then turn off the functionality without unloading the samples. And that's what this arrow does right here. If you click on the arrow, it will turn off the non-vibrato samples without purging them. So this way you can, in a live performance or in your MIDI sequencing, decide when you want to have non-vibrato and vibrato layered together to crossfade between them, or whether you want to have them purged. But in real time, you can turn them on and off to save you polyphony. Now, these other controls here are basically like what you see on your patches, except they're maybe a little differently positioned. But if I click, for example, on the cue, it turns it on. If I click on it again, it turns it off. Same for the slop detect, and you can see below, if I turn the slop detect on, it turns it on. If I turn it off, it turns it off. And here's this big sustain legato on off. If you put it like this, it turns off, it makes it a sustains patch. And if you turn it here, it becomes a legato patch. So you can see the lights correspond. So this light on, I turn it there, it's a sustain patch, so the legato is off. So there you go. Okay, so for this demo, before I play you the demo, I just want to show you how I set it up. Basically, if I show you the setup page, you'll notice that I have violins 1, A, B, and C, and violas A, B, and C, and cello A, B, and C. And the auto arranger corresponds with those settings. Here you see violins in 1 ABC, and I have them set up to the same octave, 1 octave below and 2 octaves below. And so when I play you the auto DVC demonstration, now you'll know how they were set up. And this took me about a minute to set up, whereas before this probably would have taken me 15 minutes. And you'll learn more about these pages in our other ARC videos. So let me shut this right now. Let me close this down so you can see the patches. And let me play you a quick example. Notice that this fader right here, the slider, is to show you the correlation between non-vibrato and vibrato. And this is assigned to CC2 by default. And so when you see it move, I'm going to be writing that. You'll hear the difference in the levels of vibrato and non-vibrato. Okay. So here are some simple triads, chords, with the auto arranger doing all the other rest of the work, and some vibrato and non-vibrato. Okay, so some of you might have noticed I was riding the model a little bit. That was to give it some dynamics. But right now I'm going to play you just a single patch without DVC or anything else added. And I'm just going to play you different dynamic layers with more and less vibrato so you can get an idea of what the non-vibrato to vibrato slider adds to the mix. All right, so here we go. Okay, this is non-vibrato, as you can see. And I'm going to forte, add more vibrato, bring it down again. I'll take it down in dynamic. Non-vibrato, of course. Vibrato. Bring it down another dynamic. More vibrato. Non-vibrato. And of course, very pianissimo. More vibrato. And down. Okay, so you'll notice that on the lower dynamics and the pianissimos that there's not going to be a huge difference between the non-vibrato and the vibratos, and that's simply because the way the string players play. When you're playing at pianissimo and there's a molto vibrato, even at that dynamic, you're not getting a lot of vibrato because the vibrato's commensurate to the dynamic at which you're playing. So there you go. So I hope these examples give you an idea of how to use the new non-vibrato to vibrato patches in LA scoring strings and how to integrate the ARC along with it. And I hope you found it valuable. Thank you very much. Take care.